social and political commentary from a Christian male perspective.
And we're back. You saw the thumbnail, you saw the title. You know what we're about to do. We're going to talk about reverse segregation. I cannot believe this. Y'all, I told y'all before, this doggone steady drumbeat of oppression will have you reversing time, will have you going back, fighting for things that your ancestors fought against. Well, listen to this argument that this woman makes, and we're going to dig into it a little bit deeper. So let's go. Let's go.
Would you agree that research shows that students learn better from people who look like them?
No, I don't agree with that research.
Okay, so you don't agree with that research.
No,
So you're a professional.
because I'll tell you flat out, my son Landry, who just finished fourth grade, had his best teacher. We've had some amazing teachers that look like him. His best teacher ever was this year, and she was Hispanic and looked different than him. And so, no, I do not agree that a student needs a teacher who looks like him or her in order to be an effective teacher.
But you are aware of that research, even though you may not agree with it. You are aware of it.
I strongly disagree with.
I agree. You disagree with it, but you are aware of it.
Yeah, I'm also aware of research that suggests the complete opposite.
The other question that would you agree that research shows that?
All right, so I want to get this out, allow this lady to tease it out about the research that shows that children learn best from from teachers that look like them. Just think about that for a second. Just think about that. Then every white kid would be super excelling because for the longest time, most teachers were white. Or every girl should be doing very well because the teacher is a woman. Every black child in the hood should be phenomenal because most of the teachers there are black. That just doesn't make sense. And I was trying to find this actual bill that they're arguing about, and I wasn't successful in finding it. But what I was able to do is I asked my office assistant, hey, can you help me? And I just said, hey, is there any research that suggests that students learn better from teachers that look like them? Yes, there's a growing body of research suggesting that students can benefit academically and socially from having teachers who share their racial and ethnic backgrounds. Here's a few key findings. And let me bring this up a little bit better for y'all. Absolutely. Academic outcomes, test scores, and grades. In 2018, studies by the Gresham found that Black students, especially Black boys in low-income backgrounds, performed better academically when they had at least one Black teacher in elementary school. Okay, so if we just follow, as a former school teacher, I can tell you right now, this is hogwash. This is hogwash. Then just think about it, man. Every inner city school should be super excelling, just following that logic. It doesn't make sense. Disciplinary action. Students of color, particularly Black students, tend to receive fewer disciplinary referrals when they are taught by the same race teachers. And that's good. Why? I can tell you 1,000 reasons why that's probably true. And that is probably true, but I can tell you it has nothing to do with what they think it is. Students' motivation expectations. Teachers in the same race are more likely to have a higher expectations for the students of that race, which affects students' motivation and performance. In 2017, studies showed that non-Black teachers were 12% less likely than Black teachers to predict Black students would complete a four-year college degree. Okay. Now, I do think that's interesting because now we're talking about college. I thought we were talking about elementary school, is what they were talking about in the clip that we watched. College attendance. The same 2018 study mentioned about above also found that having just one Black teacher in elementary school increased the likelihood of low-income Black students graduating high school and considering college. As I've said before, I really want people to understand. I want Black people to win. I want us to win because we help others win as well. However, giving false narratives and teaching outright lies and just basically coming up with and conjuring whole cloth stories doesn't help anybody. So let me make sure I got this right. Again, the same thing. If you had one Black teacher in elementary school, you're more likely to go to college. So if I had a Black kindergarten teacher, the likelihood of me graduating 11 years later and going to college is greater. Just think about that. It doesn't even make sense. Caveats. Representation helps, but this is the thing, and this is where I think more of the weight should be placed upon. But quality teaching still matters most. A teacher who looks like the student but isn't effective in pedagogy won't automatically improve outcomes. Can we stay right there? That's the problem. Benefits are stronger in early education in underserved communities. And you can maybe make that case, but you cannot skip past this main point. Let's keep going. Representation is in the classroom isn't a silver bullet, but it matters. When students see themselves in their teachers, in it can boost confidence, performance, and long-term success, especially for historically marginalized groups. Um, I just don't believe that. Again, I've seen too much in the classroom to show me that that doesn't actually happen. But let's do this. Let's just jump back into this video right here and let's pull up the comments. Let's jump back into the comments, jump into the Hellcat. Let's go. Why do Democrats want to keep the race war going? All right. This is not a new concept for the left. A Black professor from a research institute came to the graduate class I was taking a few years ago to pitch the same idea. He said it's almost verbatim. I asked a simple question and the whole class turned upside down. If people prefer to learn from people of the same skin color, are you implying that whites would learn better from white professors? He was stunned into silence and said something about that would be racist. Didn't we have a whole civil rights movement against segregation? How in the world did we get so twisted that we're now listening to racists on setting racial policies? What in the blank happened to the hippies? They used to be about love and acceptance. They've morphed into totalitarian scumbags who no longer want us to live and let live, but now demand that we allow them to free reign to demand we do exactly what they tell us to do. I ask again, what happened to the hippies? What happened to those hippies? So this wasn't racist after all? Biden said integrating Black students would turn schools into a jungle, a racial jungle. So basically, you want to go back to segregation. What research? The research is probably done by a liberal racist who actually believes that. And I'll just end with this one. This is straight up segregation, repackaged as progress. MLK dreamed of judging character, not by color. Yet Democrats keep pushing division. Trump promoted school choice so every kid, regardless of race, could succeed. Education should empower individuals, not box them into identity politics. This Texas rep is dragging us backwards while pretending it's forward. America deserves unity, not race-based classrooms. So shout out to that. I just thought this was such an interesting dialogue, and I'd love to hear what you think about it. If you've heard more about this, put it down in the comments. If you actually know who this representative is and what was the outcome of the bill, because I could not find it, put it down in the comments as well. I'd really like to hear about it. So I appreciate y'all rocking with me. Thank you so much for your support, liking the video, sharing the video, and of course, subscribing and helping us hit our goal of 50,000 subscribers. Everybody, until next time, grace and peace.